Welcome. Happy Thursday already. Or for some of you that celebrate, it's happy basketball day. The tournament is back. This is JP. Are we in the Sweet 16, right? We are.
That we are.
Okay. The Sweet 16. Basketball. Okay, there's that. JP, we didn't even get to the Hubert Davis firing, but we'll maybe do that. Maybe you'll do that on your JP on Sports on Friday. So, everyone, what's good with you today?
Okay. Can I tell you all my Tuscaloosa story from last night?
Tuscaloosa.
You mean Titletown?
I love it. It's already going to be a great day.
Okay. So real quickly, and y'all are going to want to chime in on this, especially JP. I'm going to need your Gen Z hot girl input. So it's already fun.
Okay.
You're engaged now, aren't you? So my oldest son is working actually for Brassfield and Gorey on their job site. They're building the new health sciences building in Demopolis. And so we were like, Connor, we want to meet you for dinner. Tuscaloosa is halfway. So Connor's like, he went to Auburn. He's like, oh, I miss Moe's. Let's go to Moe's. Okay. Y'all know where Moe's is right there. All right.
Strip.
Okay. So it's right there on the corner. And we were going to be gone for like 5 hours. Nobody else was at the house. So we put the dogs in the car, of course. We got there a little early. So we took them down by the amphitheater and walked them. And y'all, Tuscaloosa is like a different planet. You know, when you're a little Samford girl or an Auburn girl, and Auburn's catching up, but you go to Tuscaloosa and it just feels. Do y'all agree? Can we agree on that much?
It feels very cosmopolitan versus elegant country.
The massive sorority mansions and
and just the look and the feel is different. And anyway. So we go to the park, and the first thing we see when we walk up is this, like, straight out of off some runway, beautiful girl.
There's a lot of them down there.
Walking her beautiful little dog that's perfectly groomed.
Okay.
But she's in like basically a bathing suit. And she's like doing squats across the lawn and just running around. Like, she looks great. But then, like, this other pack of girls walks by, and they're super cute. They're all kind of matchy in their Lululemon, but they're basically in bathing suits as well. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. Auburn, there's lots of butt cheeks hanging out, okay?
True.
But this was like kind of a new level. But everybody's just casually, just like, no big deal. Well, we took the dogs down to the lake, and we look over, and this is where I started to kind of really hone in on the girls there. There's like this sketchy grown man with a bike that's hiding in the bushes, literally behind the tree line of the bushes. And we kind of watched him for a minute because there was a group of girls walking by in their bathing suits going for a jog. We're like, oh my God, we're about to see an abduction in clear daylight. He probably had to pee or something and just was trying to hide. And we walked down there. But anyway, I'm kind of going, these girls are really gutsy. Like showing it off. Maybe I'm just jealous.
Oh, I miss the T-Town days.
But everybody's so nonchalant about it. Okay, fast forward. Connor meets us. We're sitting outside at Moe's. We have the dogs. And what happens when you have dogs in a college town?
All the girls come up and try to pet the dogs.
All the girls come up and try and pet the dogs. And so these girls come up, 2 girls, and they sit down next to us, and they start talking to the dogs. And one of them's really, really talkative. She's from Tennessee, so I can say this. She starts showing us pictures of her sister's service rabbit.
Okay.
And the picture she's showing us is her sister's service rabbit with like these giant pink bows in its hair.
No.
And they had a birthday party for the rabbit. And it's got, like, you know how they do banners for the 21st? This rabbit and apparently the rabbit of her sister has its own room with monogram pillows in the house.
Absolutely not.
But the girls were super cute. One of them was a little quieter, but we strike up this conversation. One's from Tennessee, one's from Georgia, you know, whatever. They're very talkative, very cute. We finished dinner. We say goodbye. We go and we're walking back through, taking the dogs for a walk before we get in. We come back to that corner at Moe's, and we look over, and the girls are still sitting there. But as soon as we get to the corner and we give Connor a hug, one of the girls, we turn around, Connor's going one way to his car. One of the girls jumps up and starts walking towards Connor.
What?
And then we turn around and we're like, that's weird. Like, I didn't know if something, like there was an emergency or what. We turn around and she's in her cute little tank top and her cute little Lulu pants. And she is like a gazelle sprinting, almost gliding, very Tuscaloosa gliding towards Connor. And then we kind of stop and we're like looking. And then her friend, the one whose sister has the service bunny, goes, oh my gosh, y'all left. And she just kept saying, I should have gotten his number. I should have gotten his number. And then y'all came around the corner and she said, I'm shooting my shot. So she goes over in front of his parents.
That'd be
me and Jared. Sprints past us to go chase down Connor to ask for his number. Of course, what's Connor's like flattered. She's this cute blonde, you know.
Does he give her the number?
Yes.
My man.
So Connor gives her his number, and somehow they got first names, last names, how old, you know, she's his sister's age though. That's kind of weird. She's younger. So the girl comes back like unashamed, so proud of herself, and she sits down, and Jared and I in unison start going, I don't know what else you do, but I mean, our mouths dropped open and we were like, okay, by the end of the conversation, Jared had invited them to the lake house this weekend and said, we're coming back to Tuscaloosa to go to a baseball game with them. We get in the car and Connor calls and says, she's already texted me and said that y'all invited her to the lake house.
Allison.
Okay.
Allison.
That was the most T-town. No, it didn't have to do with weed and Holloway, but that was the most Tuscaloosa story ever. But y'all, I sat there and was like, is this JP? Is this normal? Is this normal? Is this what girls do? Because
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I thought you were going to tell me that all the girls were dressed in their cute outfits because they were filming a movie. Because
like
they were all in the crop
something.
Tops and that they were doing an HBO special or something. It turns out, no, that's just how they dress.
That was just a Wednesday night walk, Abs.
I am so silly.
Was it Wednesday? But I guess my thing is it was actually quite a sight to see. I mean, I was kind of impressed and then I was kind of mortified for where we are as a culture. But is that just normal? And then I said, did y'all exchange Snapchat or phone numbers? And they were like, oh no, she said, her friend said, no, I mean, he's older. They've got to be mature. It was telephone numbers. And I'm like, holy cow. Snapchat is
Stop it.
And she's like, they actually have to talk over text.
Yeah,
it was this whole thing. But do girls, like, are they throwing themselves at you all the time? Are girls aggressive like that now? And is that normal? Like, does Connor look at her and go, oh, she a hoe?
I'll just tell you, my 1 year in Alabama, I didn't touch sorority girls with a 10-foot pole because of that reason. I asked for one sorority girl's Snapchat when I was there, and that was it. Because
but it's not just sorority girls, is it?
Well, I'm just saying, you know what I mean. Like, if you're in Tuscaloosa and you see a girl like that, you immediately go Kyo, AD Pi, whatever. Like, you immediately, she's a sorority girl because that's typically how it is. But yeah, they're getting more and more confident and aggressive and dressing like how they dress, which whatever, but yeah.
So I guess that I'm just, because we would have never
ever
thought of doing that, chasing down a boy in front of his parents, much less just asking for a telephone number or calling a guy. That would have people would have talked about you for days.
Yes.
No, this is just not what you do. It's Emmy and Ben dated since they were little kids. So, I mean, they were 14 years old. So they're kind of in a different category. Kinsey and Will met in psychology class. So that's off the table. And Molly, I mean, wouldn't even dream of chasing down a boy Like, no.
I mean, you would like maybe flirt and send subtle signals, I guess, if you were interested, but to literally, I thought she was going to get hit by a car because she did not look both ways.
Oh my gosh.
She
That's-
just started running down University.
Well, let me tell y'all. So
I think that's what that is. That what that is in front of Moe's?
what?
Is that University Boulevard?
Yeah, the
Okay.
strip.
Oh,
pretty much.
she
Yeah.
started running down the strip. Thought maybe she was going to be stripping by the time
That's right where the Brandon Miller incident happened, by the way. Literally right there.
Really?
at Moe's.
Well, right in front, or it was at 12, which is literally that light is right in front of Moe's, and there's
So much tea this morning.
Buffalo Phil's and the corner right there, literally right on the other side of the corner is where that happened. But anyways, yeah, no, what you said about what you would have thought if you saw her running, yeah, that's what I would have thought.
But what is that what in 2026 though? Because there are some really sweet girls that I see their Instagrams and I'm like, you're not reflecting who you really are. So I guess my question is, can you judge a book by its cover? Are your instincts right most of the time?
Yes.
But she was so sweet and she really could be like the sweetest. I don't know, but I was like,
I'll just say
whoa.
this story. The one time I asked a sorority girl for her Snapchat, we had a public speaking class together, and I was like, she is gorgeous. She is, and I asked and got it. And then I think there's a wasp in here, by the way.
I'll kill it in a
JP
second.
is
Anyways,
terrified of wasps.
So that was like on a Thursday or Friday. Come back from the weekend on Monday. She shows up to class with a massive hickey on her neck.
Ew. Okay.
And immediately then I was like, that's why I don't ask for sorority girls' numbers.
I just don't like that you're singling out sorority girls though, because every girl can
Molly's
have
a
it.
When I
good
say
sorority
sorority girl,
girl.
okay,
Yeah.
let me apologize because I understand not all sororities are Alabama sororities because I just link it with Alabama sororities, but I will stand by the fact Alabama sorority girls.
I will add the only addition I have is when we were going through recruiting and we did go to an Alabama. Well, we went to a couple Alabama games and I did see the sorority girls dressed up and I was like, why did you put clothes on at all? Like, let's just be Europe and wear your undies. Because it was
Yeah.
horrifying the gate that we went in. I had never been to a lot of college campuses. Have never seen anything like that before in my life, ever. Could be wrong. Remember a couple of years ago, somebody wrote an article and the sorority girls were very mad because they were slut shamed because of somebody calling them out for the way they dressed for football games. I'm like, well, maybe that touched a nerve. I don't know. You have a great figure, girls. Like, we're so proud of you. Yay. But not sure we want to concentrate on displaying our wares for everyone. There's something to the
So
mystery, feminine mystique. It's a real
Modest is
thing.
hottest.
You should try it out.
That is true about the dogs, though. My roommate and I,
The dogs?
Well,
Really?
well,
back to the dogs.
because my roommate and
He's having
I,
flashbacks.
we were on we had electric longboards and we skateboarded everywhere on campus. So we rarely were like out walking around. And my friend's brother had a corgi. That was the cutest corgi. His name was Beans, the cutest corgi
That's
you'll
so
ever
cute.
see. And we had him for a weekend. And he was like, hey, I'm going to the quad. And in my head, I was like, when do you ever go to the quad? He's like, no, I'm just taking Beans to the quad. I was like, why are you doing it? And I'm like, oh.
The babes, the hot babes.
Yeah.
And they did. He was like, they were swarming Beans in the, yeah. It's,
I mean, it's the same
Swarming
thing as if a
bees.
man has a baby but no woman around.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
You won't get that response with a cat, but you will with a dog and a baby.
Yeah.
Men.
As you get a little older, yeah, borrow somebody's baby.
Yeah, like it can't be your baby because you have a wife. It's you're not married yet, but your sister has a baby.
Oh, and you're
Take the
taking
baby
care-
to
yeah.
a park. And y'all go frolic and the girls will. You want a wife? Try it that way.
Well,
So
I don't know if our parents looked at us. I remember, do you remember what you wore first day of high school?
yes, I do.
First day of high school.
What did you wear?
So embarrassing. Boxer shorts,
Oh, no, you didn't.
Like, do you remember? Was that a thing in Alabama?
I went to Briarwood, so we had a dress code.
Okay, but like boxer shorts are kind of coming back.
Umbros were the whole thing.
Oh, Umbros. It was basically Umbros and like an oversized t-shirt and tree torns.
No, I did wear that everywhere outside of school to where my mom said, pull your shorts down. And my bestie's mom, pull your shorts down, girls. I'm not letting you out of the car until your shorts are pulled down. I lived in Umbros and t-shirts.
And now I feel like it's like, put some shorts on.
Yes.
Even if you don't pull them down, that's better than where we're at. I mean, but did our parents look at us and be like, those Umbros are 9 inches long instead of 12?
Oh, yes.
Oh, see.
Yes. Oh my gosh. My mom was always after me to pull the shorts down, but we were the first generation of Umbros. Like I can still remember going to Bruno's, which was when Dixie, now it's not anything. And in the checkout line, I had on a muscle tee with a sports bra underneath it. I had run in from the gym that was right there to get.
Like, is that a tank top?
Like a tank top, but you could see my sports bra. It was the only time I ever did this because I came from the gym straight to the checkout line. My mom needed me to get things with $20. I left with like 10 things. And this skeevy man started talking to me and he's like, what do you like, 28? I'm like, 17. And so I never, ever pulled that combo off again.
Yeah.
I just put oversized tees and Umbros and my whatever tennis shoes my mom bought me. I don't know what she bought me.
Was it a Gold's Gym muscle tee?
Basically, it was a Gold's Gym muscle tee. But I think it was my boyfriend's tee. And I was like, oh, this is so cute. And then I was like, ew, I feel like a hooker. So I'm never going to wear this again.
Well.
And look at the girls today.
We could only go back to that.
Y'all look so cute, but save it for the beach. If you got to wear it, save it for the beach. Okay.
I was kind of happy for Connor. And then I was
but bravo, Connor.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Props.
Bless it. He needed that.
You know what? If he's watching, I'd
sup, bro. Sup.
That's my story.
That's a good story. That's a good story. I love it.
Nothing to do with the movie or
No.
marijuana. I'm sorry.
It's a great story. We kind of thought it was going to be about marijuana. We're only a little bit disappointed, but our disappointment is inverted because now we're really proud of Connor. Though we do have questions about this girl.
We'll do some research.
Maybe she met her in-laws last night, though. You don't know.
Yeah. Hey, God put us at Moe's for a reason.
God can do anything. So, I mean, look at us. Our whole life changed from the plan we had to the plan God was like, ha, here's the plan, actually, ladies. So anything's possible. All right.
That's true.
So
where'd that wasp go, by the way?
Well,
we lost it. And now I'm like,
hey, friend, I think it's over here. I'm used to them because we have beams in our house and they occasionally dip down out of the beam and I have to kill them. So I got you guys. I will kill it. I'll stand on top of a table. I'll kill it. But it's somewhere above my head.
JP is just terrified.
I hate wasps, though.
Well, I will say when my roommate was gone for a week or two when I was at college, a wasp somehow got in my room through the window. I think the window was slightly cracked. And I woke up one morning and heard this like in the blinds, and then I saw it shoot across the room into my closet.
Nope.
I got up, and I'm not kidding. I lived in my roommate's room for like 5 days.
JP,
I don't blame you.
Fly swatter.
I went to the store and I got a wasp spray, and I went in and I looked for it everywhere and couldn't find it. And I go, okay, we're gonna shut the door. And I Googled, how long does it take for a wasp to die in a room typically? And it was like, like 5 days. And I lived in my roommate's room.
Are you allergic?
No, they're demons. They're literally demons from hell.
I feel that way about the big fat bees that are out right now.
The carpenter bees?
Yeah, it stung me when I was 5. I was going to the Springfield's house with my family and on my shoulder. Hate them. I feel that way about bees. They may not hurt. I've even stepped on the little yellow jackets, stung plenty of times on those stupid things. But my terror is the big old
I've never been
bees.
stung, but I'm going to go my whole life without it.
I have a
It's a
question.
weird fear.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's not weird,
fear?
but that extreme. Like,
Do you have any fears?
That is my one
Like
fear.
of bugs or anything? And this is, of course, think before we go to the news of the day, the plunge today. Perhaps we have an interview today. Like we have a great day planned for you. And even a mini, the 3 at the beginning of the day of the stories that caught our attention while we were away. So get yourselves ready for an action-packed show.
Are we going to do that before the break?
What would you like, Mr. Producer, Mr. Executive Producer?
We're extending this. I mean, we can get into it, but we have to get into it right now.
Okay, let's get into it right now.
Snakes.
Go.
That's your irrational fear, snakes?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that.
I'm scared of snakes, but wasps, I have one fear, really. And it's just, I don't like wasps.
I understand. Who's up first? Just a quick mini, what happened while we were away? Sinclair, you want to go first?
Yeah, something very, very strange happened on the White House X and social media accounts.
What happened?
It is very, very, very strange. There were two videos that were posted that I want to play about 45 minutes apart. Very cryptic, very weird. I think, remember a few weeks ago in the jungle, the Obamas?
Yes.
I think the drunk staffer is posting again. So let's watch and listen to these 2 separate tweets that went out. And let's try and decide what they mean.
All right.
It's launching soon, right?
And that was it.
Can you play it one more time?
Sound on.
The first one is a ding.
Mm-hmm.
And then an American flag kind of pops up.
It's launching soon, right?
And the second one is a woman's shoes. It's aiming down at the floor. You see her pants and her shoes, and it says sound on. And then in the voice in the background says, that's cool. It's launching soon, right? What?
So
is that?
Essentially, the White House is now posting like a rapper that's about to drop an album or something.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's the end of that?
Okay.
That's what that was for?
No, I'm saying the White House is acting like a rapper that's about to drop an album.
That's a good call.
What the heck? Remember Kofefe?
Yes.
Is this what are we supposed to do? It's launching soon. Is that a missile? Or is that a new White House staffer that's a rapper? Either way, people in X are very confused. And the notification ding, that one was actually taken down.
Okay.
But the other one is still up.
Still up?
Yeah.
That's weird.
What are they telling us? Like things are getting spooky. If somebody knows, please message us so we can get in our bunker.
Emmy sent this to me a couple weeks ago. This didn't just happen while we were away, but then it turns out overnight this story is a story. You probably already knew about it. You know how Josh Duggar got arrested for molestation? Do you know that Joseph Duggar, his brother, has also been arrested for molestation?
Well, that means they were sexually abused themselves.
So check that out. So it's in the Daily Mail UK, but it's been around for about a week. What in the world is going on with that family? I mean, it's not just one kid, it's a bunch.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
That just means there's a history of that somewhere in their family. And it is continuing.
JP, can you go fast?
Actually, I'm going to say mine for the other side. It's a quick video and it's really funny. And we're going to get into it before the montage.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Welcome to The Right Side. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair. JP's behind the scenes today, but we are live in Alabama State House. Thrilled to be here. Maybe made it at breakneck speed. I'm not going to say for sure. But we're here with Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth. Sir, thank you for being with us today,
Yeah.
kicking us off.
Hey, welcome to Montgomery. Great to have y'all here. And I know we hosted y'all years ago in our office on the 7th floor, but good to have you back in Montgomery. And also congrats on y'all's success and, you know, how much y'all are doing for the conservative movement. I certainly, as a lifelong Republican conservative, appreciate both of y'all, what you stand for and what you fight for. So thank you.
Listen, it's our honor to be here. Thank you for having us. Question. The lieutenant governor's race is shaping up to be one of the biggest races in this election. You've been in the office now for 8 years. What's one piece of advice that you can offer the next lieutenant governor, and how can they make the position more effective and influential?
Yeah, I think a piece of advice I have for really all elected officials and whoever's the next lieutenant governor is if you know what you believe, it's easy to vote. And so, you know, I came in with parents that taught me biblical truths, biblical values, and that's where, you know, my what I believe comes from. And so I think so often people get influenced down here by lobbyists or people. And so my advice is know what you believe and hold firm to those beliefs, and don't let lobbyists or political winds potentially change what you believe. I think that's real important. So that's my advice to, you know, whoever's out there. What was the other part of that question?
Well, this is so helpful. So beyond that, then if you know what you believe, you know that you're going to stand firm and hold to that. How can the next lieutenant governor make this position, your present position, more effective and influential?
Yeah, I think so. Lieutenant governor, I mean, one of the things that's interesting about that spot is, you know, you only break in an instance of a tie. So anytime you vote, you win. But using the office and the bully pulpit of the office is something we've really engaged in. And I didn't quite understand how powerful that was until later in the term. So I think whoever, you know, gets in that office realize, hey, you know, you're elected statewide to represent the entire state, everybody in the state, and use that office for the, you know, promoting conservative beliefs, values, things that you want to get done. And it really, you know, we've helped drive the conversation, whether it was, you know, pushing, you know, school choice, right, and getting that done, killing taxes. You know, I mean, you can really shape the narrative because people are going to listen when you speak. And so, I mean, my advice is use it early and, you know, often if needed. And then I think, you know, obviously you're going to have a great governor and, you know, Coach Tuberville that's going to push a conservative agenda. And I think, you know, whoever's the next lieutenant governor can use that position to back him up and, you know, get a lot of conservative things done. And it'll be exciting to watch.
There seems to be growing frustration with Washington, D.C. and kind of the inaction that is not happening. They're in a stalemate. DHS is shut down. And there's a lot more focus now on states' rights than maybe ever in the past. Do you feel like the governor's office and the lieutenant governor's office is almost more powerful and important now going into this election with where we are in Alabama and U.S. history?
Yeah, no doubt. And I think when you look at that's why, you know, why did I not run for Senate? You know, and why did I not come on y'all's show during all that time? I avoided Allison because I was like, I don't want to be asked
like,
that.
Wouldn't even answer my phone calls.
But I mean, look, I'm thankful for, you know, people like Senator Tuberville, Senator Britt, and what they're doing. But man, DC is frustrating, right? I mean, just the lack of an action. I think states' rights are important. And I'll say this: obviously, governor's important, lieutenant governor's important. I'll say this: state legislature maybe has as much pop and power as anybody, because especially the way the Constitution is in Alabama, you know, the Senate and House have a lot of constitutional power and authority. So who we elect, you know, or reelect, right, in these elections is going to really determine, you know, whether or not Coach can get stuff done, and who also the next lieutenant governors and what they're wanting to get accomplished. So, but I think states matter now more so than ever, yes. And what's interesting is you're seeing a lot of groups that aren't necessarily good even trying to influence state policy because they realize that's where the power is now.
Sorry, I'm kind of taking calling an audible here, but I'm curious your philosophy between the governor's office and the legislature. Is it more of a checks and balance role, or is it to work together to push through the governor's agenda?
Yeah, I mean, I think so my opinion on that, if I was governor, or my advice to Coach if he gets governor, is to line out what do you want to do to improve our state, and then get the legislature on board and work together, right? And I think there's a good opportunity right now with Representative Stadhagen being party chair for everybody to work together.
Welcome back. Hello, how are you? I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. You found us. This is the right side. Okay. And maybe this morning when we got here, I didn't even say our names because sometimes I don't. And I'm sorry. I forget. But you know what we have right now? Before we have the montage, JP's story. JP?
Oh, I forgot. This is exciting.
I'm just going to play some of this video real quick. And I'm sorry if mine may be a little bit more of a goofy, the three, but y'all just got to watch this video. This is one of those like remote court hearings. And y'all just watch some of this.
Okay.
You cannot be driving, ma'am. What are you doing? Come on.
I'm not driving. I'm a passenger in a car.
You're still not, I'm not hearing cases with people driving or as passengers in cars.
Okay, I will pull over right
Short of
now.
us coming out to everybody's house and doing these on boats and stuff in the summer, I don't know.
I'm sorry, I have an emergency. I'm going out of town for a family member, but I will have my driver pull over. Hang on 1 second. I'm sorry. I didn't know that I wasn't allowed to be in a car, but hang on 1 second.
She's so driving.
Am I crazy or does it not look like you're driving that car?
I'm not driving the car. I'm a passenger in the car, sir.
That's not true.
What side of the car are you on?
I'm on the left-hand side.
You're
How would you be
driving.
on the left-hand side if you're a passenger in the front seat? Am I missing something?
Right-hand side. I'm sorry. I've been sitting in a room. I didn't know.
Stop.
Lady, make this stop.
Yeah, the seatbelt's coming off of the driver's side. Right? You know you're lying to me, right?
No, I'm not, sir.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Let me see the driver.
He's got her.
Oh,
Let me see the driver.
Hang on 1 second. I have
Now,
to ask their permission.
now.
Oh, she's pretty quick though.
oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh, you're not in the you weren't in the driver's side. You think I'm that stupid?
Is she
I'm
walking
gonna go ahead and
around?
enter a default judgment. Our paperwork says that we can't have, that they can't drive. Does it not, Jennifer?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I took a breath in and started choking. Well, I missed what
Does
you
our
said.
paperwork not tell people that they can't be in a car?
I don't know, Your Honor. I'd have to look at it
The
again. I haven't
paperwork
looked
that
at it
I'm
in a while.
looking at, it does not say that I cannot be in a car.
I'm entering a default judgment. You lied to me. Judgment 1921-85. Send me your counsel and put in there defendant was not available at the time and then was driving a car and telling the court she was not. I'm entering a default
Oh
judgment.
my.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Oh, that is awesome,
What?
JP.
That's just so dumb.
Show me the driver.
I mean,
I have to ask their permission
immediately,
first.
The eyes were like a 5-year-old.
What was she going to do when she got out of? Oh, she was getting gas.
Yeah, well, she was pulling over to get out of the car to continue the hearing, and he was like, "Show me the driver." He was like,
Oh, and then she
"I
started
asked their
choking.
permission."
Gosh, that's just not smart.
It's like the one where the guy was going to court for a suspended license and was driving his car while he was in the court.
I
for
remember that.
What? I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
You remember that? We
Okay.
did a story on it.
We did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. People are so dumb.
We so dumb.
I mean, she really didn't think she was going to get caught. That is a great video.
Anyways, I saw that last night.
I love it. That's a great video. All right. JP,
Is it montage time?
it's montage time.
For news.
regarding religious liberty and whether parents should be informed and be able to opt their children out from reading books in the classroom that go against their faith.
6-3 today in a decision by Justice Alito. They said these parents have been earned at least a preliminary injunction. So while this case plays out, they said the board has to notify them about a book that's in question or anything similar so that their kids can be excused if it's in conflict with their faith.
Jury awards $3 million in damages to Kaylee GM. Meta apparently liable for 70% of the damages, which would leave 30% to YouTube.
And to all of the residents who participated in our snowplow naming contest, keep speaking up in every way and any way that you can. I look forward to meeting with the Chicagoans who submitted the winning names, and I look forward to seeing our city's pride, our spirit, and even, yes, our humor represent us again next year.
Would you guys vote for Gavin Newsom in 2028?
I vote for him because he got me released from coming home from a life sentence.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So he didn't hold me back. He didn't hold me back. He signed off saying I'm fit for society. So yes, I would vote for Gavin Newsom.
What were you locked up for, if you don't mind me asking?
I was locked up for murder, carjacking, and robbery.
Hey everybody, Tim Burchett getting ready to chair our first Doge subcommittee here in a minute. Going to show a lot of duplication in government. That crazy chart right there is an indication of what we've got going on in government, probably over $1 trillion in duplication. If we can cut a few $1 million out of that, I'd be very happy. I'd like to cut it all out, but we'll see how that goes. Getting ready to start.
Timmy.
It's like first day of school.
Dadgummit.
Dadgum chart back there.
Can I borrow your pencil?
The first day of class was the best.
I know I'm the chair of this committee, but can I borrow somebody's pencil, please?
I have a piece of paper I can borrow.
So those stories are incredible because two really big things happened. And I actually have something you guys are going to be fascinated to go along with it. And maybe you found it. But parents being able to opt out of LGBTQ curriculum is a massive win for parents. Massive. And did you see the name of the family who brought suit?
No, I didn't even know it came out. I don't know. I'm Googling it now.
So it was, I think, JP, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it a family from Virginia?
I believe. Let me look it up.
It was
Mahmoud versus Taylor.
Mahmoud versus Taylor.
Oh.
This is very interesting because this is the case that we talked about Christians and some Muslim families that came together and said, we're not doing this. This is where we can align and join hands because this is a strength and we need to go for it. But I wonder if the name would have been different, would the award and would the judgment have been different? But this is a big win. And it's very exciting that parents back in the Biden administration, as more and more comes out about what the Bidens did, Operation Arctic Frost, for example, or the Biden administration and families and education, were uncovering those things, that it was intentional to go after trad wives, for example. That now the court has ruled, parents, you absolutely have the right to opt out of the LGBTQ curriculum. This is incredible. This is a big day. And I don't think people thought it was going to happen.
So it was out of the suit came out of Maryland.
Okay, Maryland.
They argued that the policy violated their religious freedom, that parents were not notified and they were not allowed to opt their kids out. So the court ruled that that the school must notify parents in advance and allow children to opt out. It said the books were not just exposure to ideas, but promote certain viewpoints which could conflict with religious upbringing. This is so, why can't we just stick, there's certain universal, what was it they were called in English class? Universal themes that everybody can identify with. You know, whether it's, I think they were like love, anger, pursuit of happiness, pursuit of a dream, whatever it is. Why can't we just stick to things that are universal? Like books about the sky and the grass and trains and how to build a bridge. I don't know, but like, why do we got to get into LGBTQ, XYZ 666, tranny, like all this controversial stuff that if you want to teach it in the home, go for it. We're not burning books. We're not banning books. We're not whatever you call us. Don't do it at school. Well, what this is going to turn into is now anytime they want to read something that's maybe even somewhat traditional marriage or maybe a little right or maybe a little conservative or maybe a little Christian, now we're going to be like, well, I need our kids to opt out. It just starts this whole really petty, but there's so much in the middle that we could be doing. But I don't know why. Maybe that wasn't the case that they were hearing. Maybe they couldn't rule on like, those just shouldn't be in schools at all.
Right. Well, and what I'll bring up after we talk about the Meta case, the $3 million damages, will answer that question. And you will be right in saying that aren't there things in the middle that we could be working on? Yes.
Didn't we have
Like
those
school.
things in the 80s and the 90s?
Like school. We could work on school, but a different way.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. But how exciting, how crazy, because I saw that the people who were arguing for the LGBTQ material said that they were doing it. Basically, they present their arguments as if they're grand and the only argument. And we need this because as a society, this is what we want to provide for our children, options on lifestyles. No, we want our children to know how to think, how to reason, how to do math, get into the classics, and also, yes, life skills like coding. We need to know coding and how to balance a checkbook. Like, let's do those things before we introduce these other hideous concepts that nobody outside of their home needs to talk about. It's insane.
The fact that the Supreme Court is just wild.
It's wild.
Has to spend time on stuff like this.
What do you think, JP?
I agree. It is crazy the Supreme Court has to weigh in on stuff like this. But then I sit there and I'm like, can you imagine back in the founding fathers, 3 judges on the Supreme Court would rule in favor for your kids to be taught sex and LGBTQism and all of this. Like, I hate to be that guy, but when I look at, I'm like, how is this not a unanimous ruling? You know, like we're in a spot, we got 3 judges that think this crap should genuinely be taught. And I want to read the opinion of whoever wrote for the 3. And
yeah.
You know,
you read it?
You want to take you know what? We're going to do a bet. Which one do you think wrote the opinion for them?
Ketanji Brown.
I'm going to say Sotomayor.
Oh, well, I don't know the 3 that dissented.
Was it Kagan? Was it the 3 ladies?
It's normally the same, you know, the 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
anyways,
I don't take anything for granted anymore.
Anyways, yeah. I mean, it's a huge win, you know, but it's just frustrating that, you know, the Supreme Court has to even weigh in. And the fact that all the judges or the courts leading up to it, like, kicked it down the road. It's like, guys, you know, why does the Supreme Court have to waste their time doing talking about these sort of cases?
Exactly.
So that came out yesterday. Are there any more rulings? Do we know if they're coming out? I know a lot of times they come out on Friday.
Yes, the education Meta and YouTube. Yes. Oh, there's the
JP. It's coming your way. The wasp is right above you.
In the light. So Meta and YouTube lost. A young girl claimed that, I guess she started this when she was 19, that she was addicted to social media, and the algorithms with both YouTube and Meta knew that, and they were conspiring. And she blames depression, anxiety, body dysmorphia, all the things on her social media addiction. And she won that case. She won the case. But after we discussed this, I heard something this morning that goes right along with it that makes me concerned for all of our children. But she brought suit and she won. She made the case. So $3 million, I believe. Or did I just write the wrong number down? But she had an award.
What are the implications for that? Like, are they going to change anything? Meta and YouTube? Or are they just going to pay the money and keep going?
I'm sure they're just going to pay the money and keep going.
Okay.
I think they'll just pay the money and keep going.
I don't know. Sometimes in the ruling, there's how you have to reconcile and rectify it, whatever, so it doesn't happen again.
I think more will come out, but this is concerning. This guy, this guy's named Jared Horvath, and he testified last month to the Senate Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee about the damage that screen time is doing to young minds. And this is fascinating, you guys. The sad fact, he says, is that our kids today are less cognitively capable than we were at the same age. Since they've been standardizing and measuring cognitive development since the late 1800s, every generation has outperformed their parents, which is what we want, he said. Each generation, though, spends more time in school. We use school to develop our cognition. Congratulations when you see correlation. But until Gen Z is the first generation in modern history to underperform us on basically every cognitive measure we have. From basic attention to memory, to literacy, to numeracy, to executive functioning, to even general IQ, even though they go to more school. So what happened? And it's that around 2010, schooling was decoupled from cognitive development. And schooling, it's got to be more. They did this huge study. He goes on in his testimony. We have our NAEP data. You know that very well, Allison, because that's what we use to measure. And what they're seeing is that using technology is not great for our kids. It is not. We have evolved. We need better programs. He says we've not evolved biologically to learn from other human beings, not from a screen. We want to learn this way, not this way.
Yeah.
And so now they have the evidence to prove that screen times are really hurting our kids. The percentage that I heard drop between generations was alarming. So it's interesting that this ruling came out between Meta, YouTube, and this girl named Kaylee. What is going to happen from here? That this testimony happened last month to prove that we've got something going on, really. She was addicted. That may be its own issue, but we're raising a generation of addicted kids who don't know how to think as well, who don't know how to learn, who don't function as well. And so really, I think that jury award was evidence of a massive problem that we handed to our children in the 2010s when we brought out Chromebooks and iPads. And so now what are we going to do about it?
If I became the superintendent of the state of Alabama, the first thing I would do would be to take every single Chromebook out of every child's backpack and smash it into a million pieces. I mean, it's just money. Apparently, we just kind of throw it around, billions in Alabama for education anyway. I think that is the worst thing that we have done. There is something that is very real about a pencil and a piece of paper. And it's actually proven, like the friction, even more so than a pen, but the friction of having to write and what your brain does as you're moving while you're writing and reading and putting all those sensory things together, your brain fires so much more, you retain so much more. To hold a book and you be able to highlight and read, so much more powerful for your brain and for your learning than reading a screen. I would get rid of it all. I think it's the worst thing. And then go back to like the computer lab. Literally, remember back then did you have a computer lab?
Yeah, it's funny because I literally lived and saw that transition when I was in like kindergarten up to 3rd or 4th grade, we would go down the hall to the computer lab and do
Exactly.
games on the computer and then go back and to books. And I actually remember it clear as day. I think it was 4th grade in Huntsville City Schools. Like, hey, we got these new things called Chromebooks for y'all. No more need for textbooks. And in my head, I was like, what do you mean no need for textbooks anymore? And everything was on the Chromebook. You took your Chromebook home with you, did your work. And in my head, I remember at the time being like, this is odd. I'm like, what's the need? What was wrong with before? But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I feel like my generation is one of the few ones, at least the ones in kind of my age bracket of Gen Z, that were just young enough or just old enough to see how it was before, but then also saw the transition. And I feel like my generation was handed something that even those handing it to us didn't even know what it was and what the implications of it was. You know, and it's bad because I mean, I know my natural response sometimes to getting overwhelmed, anxious, I just get on this and next thing I know, I'm scrolling for hours. And then there's also sometimes where I'm getting overwhelmed by this and I have to, sometimes I physically throw it into a chair and like, get it away from me. Like I need, you know, but it's so, yeah. I feel like Pandora's box was open with this and we're trying to pull it back, but I don't know. It may be a little bit too far gone at this point.
Do you know what also happened around that same time? What was happening?
Core Common?
Yes, ma'am. So in 2007, a couple of guys went and sold this idea to Bill Gates. So who stood to gain a lot of money from the use of Microsoft on Chromebooks? Bill Gates. Who doesn't care what happens to our kids? Bill Gates, even though they fund all these things. So that's an adjacent situation. But this use of iPads, I believe, our kids were at Broward when the transition was happening. And so they were excited to get iPads. Equally the same, at whatever your school uses. And then they went to Oak Mountain, so they had Chromebooks. But that's also what happened is data was collected from our kids and Bill Gates made billions of dollars off of his operating system being on the computers that, oh no, we're just going to give these to your children out of the goodness of our heart. At the same time, wrecking their abilities to think, reason, and make good choices for their life. And suddenly the classroom has become a little advocacy center, not for their mind, but for whatever, situation, issue, whatever the teacher decides. And isn't that sad? Like we've wrecked their minds and now we have proof.
Well, and then along with that, I think it all goes hand in hand. Did y'all see what Melania Trump did yesterday?
I did.
Where she walked down a hall with Figure 3, some humanoid robot, and then with Macron, Brigitte was there, like all these female first ladies, heads of state. And then they walk down the aisle and she stands and the humanoid comes up and introduces itself and starts talking. And then Melania is talking about those humanoids being teachers and in the classroom. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, no, it was bizarre. And it waves and it says hi in like 12 different languages. And then it turns around. It looked like Biden. Remember how Biden walked? It literally looked just like that. But it was weird. And they were talking about it like it was the next greatest thing. This Figure 3, do some research and how AI can help in the classroom. And y'all, it's getting freaky.
Well, I guess that's going to have to be another issue that we draw a line in the sand and advocate for is let's have some thrilling, like maybe take our shotguns and just blow up the Chromebooks, like shoot holes through them.
For it.
Like hatchet them.
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny.
Hatchet's not a weapon. It wouldn't do anything.
Oh, that's right.
I would say my intrusive thoughts whenever I see those robots like that walking is to just like deck the stew out. I don't know. It's just like such an instinctive, like yeah, I can't stand those things. Those like walking robots.
What if it had punched her?
Like just gone crazy.
Secret Service has to shoot the robot.
What mayhem that
Brigitte would
been.
have jumped in. I
Yeah.
bet he could take it down.
You say-
Did I do that?
yeah.
Did that. We'll be back.
Y'all have heard us talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles.
Paul and his team are experts on what they call biblically responsible investing. And for a limited time, they're hosting a free class that you can register for.
Check out the class and register for free at moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, and it's financial freedom.
Again, go to Inspire Advisors at moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out and tell them you heard about them at Rightside.
And for Republicans just to run out of state, we can still continue to fight regulations. We can continue to lower taxes, right, which are important. So I think there's going to be a lot of all this stuff with Islam going on and them attacking Christians and Jews, right? There's some real fights there, and I think it's important that Republicans stick together and that we push back on that. And let's just be honest. The Democrats' woke agenda is scary in a lot of instances, and we got to push back on that as well. So I think my answer would be work together, but I think certainly the way it's set up, there are checks and balances where somebody for some reason a policy's not good. That's why you have the checks and balances. But I think there's a tremendous opportunity for everybody to work together and collaborate.
Based on your time in Montgomery, what is the biggest problem in Alabama that politicians talk about the least?
I think right now the biggest problem is that I'm going to say we've had so many years of good budgets, and where a lot of times you hear the narrative that you don't have to cut anything until budgets get tight. And I'm of the opinion there's still a lot of waste in government, and that's one of the biggest problems that, and it really starts with the executive, branch that I hope Coach Tuberville will tackle. But I think there's hundreds of millions of dollars of, potentially waste, maybe fraud and abuse in Alabama that we could cut out and save the taxpayers potential money. So
there's a closed primary bill that I think is in committee today in the House. Republicans in the party have been talking about it for years. If it makes it to the Senate, how is the Senate feeling about that? And what do you think its chances are of passing?
Yeah, I really like that bill. And the reason I like it is, I like just Republicans deciding our nominee. And I think that's important. And, sometimes there's some pushback. Oh, you're going to lose elections. You look at other states that have done that. I don't believe that's the case. But it's frustrating to me that sometimes Democrats play in the Republican primary. And we don't need that in our state. We want Republicans deciding Republican, and then in the general vote for, whatever. If you're a Democrat, you want to vote for Republican, have at it. Or if you want to come over and be a Republican, we'll take you, because I understand why you wouldn't want to be a Democrat in Alabama. So, I'm all for, independents and Democrats joining the Republican Party, but I think the party registration makes sense. I like having parameters there where there's certain things you have to do in order to vote to be, a Republican, where you can't just keep hopping back and forth. And so I think as far as the Senate, I think we can get it passed. So that's, and I'm going to work hard and use the influence of my office to get that done. And so there you go. Yeah. I want it. I think that's important.
So speaking of passing, what else do you think, or would you like for the Senate to accomplish, or do they hope they can accomplish for the rest of the session?
Yeah, right now, our primary constitutional duty is to, we've got to get our budgets passed, right? And so we're, working on the education budget. We just passed the general fund budget. It went to the House. The ETF's coming up, and so I think there's going to be a lot of focus on that. And you start looking at billions of dollars of funding going through each line item, make sure it's appropriated correct. It's a lot of work, right, to go through that. And so I think that's the next thing that I want to make sure we accomplish in the Senate is make sure we get a good educational budget out. And one of those things, I'm passionate about school choice, making sure it's properly funded, and it will be. And then also just making sure that, the money appropriate. And the one thing I'm proud of on the ETF is since Republicans have taken over, we haven't had proration. We paid back all the money the Democrats borrowed through the rainy day accounts. We're in the best fiscal shape we've ever been. And we've got close to $3 billion in a savings account because we are going to go back down, right? And so it's important we have that there so we don't go into proration. So from a fiscal standpoint, we've been conservative. We've cut taxes and we have money set back, right? So, I mean, that's totally different from DC where we're spending money we don't have. And so I'm proud of that, but I also go through line item by line item because I'm a business guy and want to make sure we're not wasting any money. And so that's kind of will be the next thing we work on.
You announced that you have joined Freedom First Alabama. Explain to us what that is, kind of how it came to be and what the goals are of that coalition.
Yeah, it's just a collaboration of lawmakers and different groups to fight.
Welcome back. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We are looking forward to an interview in a few minutes with Case Dixon, who is running for CD6, right?
Yes.
And we have a couple of questions we wanted to ask him. But first, we're going to still roll through our montage topics. So, Allison Sinclair, since you know Tim Burchett and you worked with him, could we discuss the Doge meeting and how exciting that is?
It's as much as I love Tim, and if anybody can get it done, it will be Tim Burchett. Is it just more of this? I mean, he has a chart. I couldn't read the chart. There were lots of bubbles on the chart.
Yeah.
But are we going to get anywhere? I mean, again, if anybody can make things happen, it's him. But
I know. Look, Elon did Doge, and how far did we actually get with Doge? We okay, so we got some things accomplished, but now we have another Doge meeting, which, by the way, may I pause and say that my husband is taking on, but he calls it Doji because they have their own Doge group in their GI practice.
that, I think, well,
Isn't that
someday
great?
we'll have to have a Doge.
I know.
Not right now, but someday. I think
Someday.
probably every organization needs a Doge.
I think they do, but I'm excited if anybody, you're right, can get it done. It's Tim Burchett, but what do they do after they've discovered the fraud, waste, and abuse? Like, what's the next step? Go in and just cut it?
Oh, I was going to say they go to the Capitol Hill Club and they talk about how great they are, and then they go home.
Okay. I mean, I really don't know what happens once they go, this is here. Like he said, there are things, maybe duplicates, triplicate, however much debt we're in.
Yeah, he
what
said up
happens
to
next?
$1 trillion. And then he said, if we can cut a couple of million, I'm like, we need to be cutting billions out of that trillion to
Mhm.
really make a dent. I guess some of it would have to go back through Congress to take out as budget items. And then some of it with each of the different departments, they would maybe have to agree to cut it. But I think he was talking about the millions would be for just the duplicates, in which
Okay.
case that to me seems to be very controversial and a no-brainer unless you're committing fraud.
Right. That's exactly right.
Right?
Yes.
Because a duplicate means I need $1 million. I got $1 million, but oops, $1 million more came in too.
Mhm. Oops.
Okay. Just making sure.
And the other part I was wondering, and maybe JP knows exactly what happens once they've discovered this, but I started thinking, wait a minute, we know where lots of fraud is taking place, i.e. Minneapolis and California. So could we just cut that? That'd be great.
Yeah.
Like that'd be a start. Could we just wipe that out?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too, and I hate to be that guy, but when I see this video of Burchett in the chair, like about to do the Doge subcommittee, in my head, I'm like, Doge found over 100 billion in fraud that we only codified the NPR PBS part of it. Like, okay, Doge already did all that work, and now it's like let's just get Burchett something to do. Let him go have fun on the Doge subcommittee. And he's sitting there, he's like, hey, y'all, I'm about to do this Doge subcommittee meeting. Dadgummit, does anybody have a pencil? And are you smacking gum really in here? Like, yeah, it's almost like, I don't know. It's cool. I hope something comes from it, but I almost feel like let's just give Burchett something to do. Let them think we're doing something. We'll see. But I'm like, Doge already got, how about you go ahead and codify all of that?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I love seeing him sitting there though. It's like the little kid that gets to sit in the president's chair for a minute. I picture his like legs swinging underneath, he's like, look at me.
Yeah.
He clearly is very excited about it. But again, if anybody can make things happen, he's one that I don't know how he threads the needle so well, because if you notice, he's not part of the Freedom Caucus, but he sides with Trump on most everything. But he also can get away with criticizing Trump when he needs to. And he votes mostly like with the Freedom Caucus and really conservative, but sometimes he takes independent votes. I don't know how he has managed to work the system so well. It gives me hope, though, that he's in this position because I feel like he can negotiate. You get some legislators that everybody's like, I'm just not doing that because of who they are. I don't think that I think he'll be good. I don't think he will encounter that. He will encounter, I'm not doing that because I want to continue to steal from the American people. Yeah. We'll see.
Interesting. Glad it's happening, but we all agree we'd like to see more happen and really make headway with the debt. I mean, that just shouldn't be this hard after all this time.
Can we talk about the abolish ICE snowmobile, the extremely tone deaf from the mayor of Chicago? But here's what makes it even more frustrating. So basically, there was a contest or something in Chicago to name the snowmobile, like whatever they used to clear the roads from snow, and they ended up, the winner of it was Abolish ICE was the name that won to be the snowmobile, whatever. But what's tone deaf about it is just days ago, an 18-year-old in Chicago was murdered by an illegal alien. So now this family is mourning the fact that their son was taken away from them by somebody who shouldn't even be here and was here illegally. And now the mayor thinks it's cute and funny to have an Abolish ICE snowmobile. It's just so tone deaf and stupid. Also, dumb name. Like, at least come up with something a little bit funnier and cooler. It's almost like, let's name the thing F Trump. Like, it's so dumb in the first place.
Oh, see, I thought it was kind of catchy.
It was too much on the nose.
You guys,
it was.
What's the name of it?
It was a double entendre. The name of it is Abolish ICE, and it's a snowmobile, a snowplow. So they're getting rid of ICE. I mean,
I thought it was too much on the nose.
Yeah, the left is usually really angry, so I was kind of proud of them for like at least something kind of catchy.
But the timing of it was so tone deaf, and
you just I'm sorry, it's hard to take you seriously when you typing cat because it's so funny. It's like Meet the Parents at the airport. Bloop, 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 bloop. Hello, I'm calling for section 3. Section 3. Anyway, so okay, and also, could Chicago get their lives together? Because that used to be a fun place to visit, and now, I mean, who goes there?
Well, actually, we did. Not last summer, but the summer before, and 2 summers before that, we had gone up to go to a Cubs game, and just for the weekend. My husband Jared used to live there and work there. I say it all the time, though. Now, you can't go into the sketchy parts, but that's like that every city. But I felt safer in downtown Chicago than I do downtown Birmingham for sure.
Did you go on the Miracle Mile? I love the city.
I mean, is that where the Ferris wheel is and stuff?
Well, all the shopping.
And the shopping. No, what's that? Navy Pier?
Yeah, Navy Pier.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, we didn't do shopping.
Allison,
gosh, I know. Shame.
Did you go get pizza or hot dogs? Allison, why do you go to Chicago? I know for baseball, but
yeah, we went for the baseball.
Did you go to like Gino's or?
We went to that place that
other
has
one.
a rose. Carmine's
is delicious.
Okay, Carmine's was really, really good. So
All right.
we had.
It's okay then.
I bought some.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. I mean, what else did we do? We did like a mirror maze.
Oh, those
Does that count?
freak my husband out.
Anyway, but I think it's like anywhere, yeah, don't go in those parts.
Mhm.
But I would argue that downtown Birmingham is way scarier than Chicago.
Hey, you get no disagreements about that with me.
Remember going to the Christmas party?
I was going to bring up.
Were you?
I
Wait,
thought,
no, because she had Chris.
I still got the creeps from a dude who followed us a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm with my husband.
JP, remember the guy
I was
hiding
about
in
to
the?
bring up,
Oh
yes.
my
What?
gosh.
I'm walking Allison back to her car. She parked in the most sketchiest part of downtown Birmingham. Okay, so we're walking
Where
there.
does she park?
Like back by the homeless shelter,
Yeah.
like down a back
Allison.
alley
And
by
so-
myself by the park.
And so I'm like, I'm unarmed, but we're gonna get there. And then somebody hiding in a parking garage said something to us, and it scared the crap out of me. And I was like,
Well, we're walking by. It was one of those parking garages that has like a screen almost, so you can hear through. It's not solid, but you can't really see. And they mocked me. I laughed or something, and they like repeated what I did.
yeah.
And it was the scariest thing. JP
Oh
and I
my
both were
gosh.
like, that was weird. So anyway, and that was like in a nice part of Birmingham. I would take Chicago over whatever that was.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Quick
Yes.
question. When you get afraid like that, when somebody does something to you, do you freeze and does your heart feel like it's going to melt? Do you feel like you're going to melt into the ground? Or do you want to run? Are you a like freeze? Are you fight? Are you flight? What are you when those situations happen?
I'm a fight in the moment.
Oh, you're an MMA guy.
In that moment, I started laughing.
I mean,
Yeah, I started laughing, but then my instinct would be to run.
yeah.
What
same.
about you?
Run. I'm getting out of there.
Yeah, y'all should. Yeah,
Like I'm
you'd be smart.
running. And I can run in heels. And I bet you can too.
That reminds me of the one time. Do we have our guest?
Yeah, I
on?
was about to say, we
Oh,
got
okay,
Case that
sorry.
just came
all right.
in. If we're going to
One
start that interview.
time remind me to tell you the Washington DC AR-15 story.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, friends, we are happy to be joined by Case Dixon, who is running for CD6. And good morning. I guess it's still morning. Hey, Case, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
Good. How's the campaign going?
It's going good. It's going good. Interesting that y'all bring up the fight or flight response. Over the weekend, as a little side note, I was doing some door knocking and I went to door knock on this person's house and their dog was extremely vicious, comes running out of the garage, full speed. And we just kind of break down. I didn't know what to do. He's barking, growling, snarling, doing all sorts of things. And eventually this dog lunges at my face to bite. And this is a big dog, lunges at my face to bite me in the face. And I have to swing a right hook to the side of the dog's head to avoid being bitten. And I broke my right hand. So
What?
I guess I can definitively say that I would be the fight person. I guess I can. Maybe I'm allowed to say that.
No, in that case, you do not run. You have to fight.
Yeah. Well, if I turned around straight up, I mean, he was going to tear my leg off. I mean, he was pretty vicious, but the person had an underground fence. I don't know, some sort of mutt lab mix that looked like maybe there was some pit bull in there, but they had an underground fence. And so eventually I was able to back up, and I'd like to say that the dog ran away in fear after I punched him in the head, but it maybe stunned him for like 3 seconds maybe. And then we were back to squaring up with one another. But
Where were
I'm just
the
glad I
owners?
don't need surgery. Oh, they were there. They were watching the whole time. I mean, they were trying to corral the dog, the dog was stronger than the owner was. But at first they thought I was going to need surgery, like to put some pins in my hand. But, all the alignment's good. So they're like, just don't do anything stupid and your hand will heal up just fine. So,
Oh my gosh.
Have you had
Yeah.
formal fighting training? Because that was quite the right hook.
I don't know. No, I haven't had formal fighting training or anything, but it was just instinct, I feel like. But
Okay.
anyway, random
Well,
update on the
major
campaign there. Yeah.
Street cred to you.
Remember that for downtown Birmingham, Abs.
I'm just glad I didn't get bitten. But the number one thing that talking about the campaign that I still want to talk about, and I talked about it last time I was on y'all's show, is the national debt and how it relates to affordability. Just last week, we saw the national debt cross $39 trillion. And Congressman Palmer and other folks up in Washington don't seem to care. They don't seem to be doing anything about it. And I think that is what is making life more expensive for the folks here in Alabama. And so that's really where I'm at. I just want to drive that point home, that that's why everything is so expensive.
What can we do to make life more affordable? What could you do as a representative to help everyday Alabamians?
Well, I think the point is standing up to leadership, because many times you'll see that power tends to concentrate with the speaker, the House majority folks, and you'll see the same things in the Senate. And that's my gripe with Congressman Palmer is I think I said this on the show last time, but when leadership says jump, he says how high, time and time again. And so that's why I want to hear publicly challenge Congressman Palmer to a debate. He lied to voters 12 years ago. On a debate stage, he said, I will serve 10 years and I will go home. That was 12 years ago. And I've said before, and look, now he's shooting for 14 years. And the key thing is that it's not just that you said I would do one thing and then you do another, but that it's now you're not willing to stand up and stand in front of voters and answer for your record. And that's why I publicly challenged Palmer to a debate last month. Didn't hear a response. I heard through a third party that the date wasn't good or the location wasn't good. But I want to say right here, right now, no excuses. He can pick the moderator. He can pick the date. He can pick the time. He can pick the location. I'll even come to Washington if that's what it takes. But I think if you're going to break a promise to voters, you owe them answers. But the problem is, I don't think that he can stand up for his record and vouch for the things that he's done regarding the spending, regarding FISA extensions, regarding breaking his promise. I mean, the list could go on.
Do you think we were just talking, I don't know if you heard this segment, we were talking about Tim Burchett and heading the DOJ subcommittee. Do you put any faith in that process? Do you think anything, speaking of reducing the debt, will come of that?
I would like to say yes, but we saw how DOJ has fizzled out in the past, so I'm not too optimistic. Look, I like Representative Tim Burchett, but I think a lot of folks, they'll get on social media and give the debt lip service, but then they go vote for things that are going to do the complete opposite. I mean, let's just take, for example, the war that we have going on in Iran. Supposedly, we've already spent, I think, $34 billion. And, you know, it'd be different if I felt like it was something that was, I guess, more so that this is not to the benefit of the American people. And the faster we can get out of these things that are racking up the debt, because we saw during the wars previously through the Bush administration and Obama that, I mean, we added trillions of dollars in national debt. I'm afraid that's exactly what's happening now, and that's why things are going to get more expensive.
So let's go back a second, because you talked about Congressman Palmer and party leadership. And when they say something, you know, and they say jump, he says how high. What would your stance be then if you're there and party leadership wants one thing and your voters say that's not what we want? What would you do?
Yeah, I really do think it's easy. I know it's probably too easy for me to say this if I'm not in office, but you've seen folks that are trailblazing, that are willing to do the things that are better for their constituents. I mean, take, for example, the Epstein Files discharge petition. Palmer wouldn't sign on to that discharge petition, but lo and behold, whenever it looked like it was going to pass and leadership said, okay, now you can vote for this, it passed near unanimously. And so I think it really just is looking at what's in the best interest of the constituents and being transparent, because you'll see some folks that will go onto social media or do town halls or speak to voters and let them know exactly why they voted for something, why it was good, why it wasn't good, etc. And we don't hear that from Palmer. And like I said, I believe that that's because he can't speak up for his record or is afraid to.
It's hard to, well, it's easy to say what you're saying, that you would stand up against the machine. I believe you would. However, it's hard to get things done if you're just one person. So would you work on building a coalition? Would you join the Freedom Caucus? Like, you have to have backup in a lot of ways. In terms of, you can get on social media and you can cause a ruckus. I think Tommy Tuberville is great at this. He brings a lot of awareness to issues, but he's just one person. In the Senate, you're one of 100. In the House, you're one of 435. So you've got to have help. How do you plan on kind of corralling that help behind you?
Well, I think you're starting to see a coalition of people that are on board with this starting to form in the House. Not necessarily a formal caucus, but you're seeing some folks that are willing to play and do the right thing over what leadership says, such as, I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene's no longer in there, but she was one of those folks, Thomas Massey, Nancy Mace, Lauren Boebert, folks like that. I feel like there is a coalition that is forming of people that are willing to stray from leadership, knowing that it may put them in hot water with their leaders, but they know at the end of the day it's the right thing to do. And so,
So
I truly believe that that's going to grow. The more people, I think the more people that are willing to do that, the more that type of coalition is going to expand.
So if you are voted and you head to Washington, if you're going to do what you say you're going to do, there's a chance you might not be back in 2 years, because we've seen what happened with Marjorie Taylor Greene. We've seen what is happening with Thomas Massey. The people can decide, and of course they would still have to vote for you, but the machine will come after you. So are you willing to just put that all out there? Look, if I've got 2 years, I'm going all in.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why I'm running, because I've got 2 young kids. I've got skin in the game. I have a reason to fight for what I say I'm going to do. And so there's nothing that can make me put that on the back burner and not actually fight for their future. But I think, once again, the more people that are willing to go this route, that are willing to stand up for the American people, even when it's unpopular with leadership, they can't go after everybody. And so I think that the more you see that, the less likely it is that the machine can be successful in ousting you from Congress.
So, what other issues? We've talked to you before. We know you care deeply about the debt. We know you care about affordability. We also know you've offered to debate Congressman Palmer. But what other DC issues are you most concerned about?
Well, the number one thing that I think we see is the expansion of government. And I'm a limited government guy, and I'm afraid that our liberties are being stripped away day by day in Washington. I think that the US Congress and the federal government is the biggest threat to our civil liberties. I mean, just take, for example, the FISA extension that's coming up. Look, I support President Trump in many ways. I think he's done a great job on the border. I think he didn't even have to spend a dime and was able to shut down the border. I think he's done a great job of getting DEI out of politics. I mean, and just in general, just the culture of the US now is we're not putting up with that nonsense. Those are all great things. But just yesterday, I saw a post where he put out he wanted a clean extension of FISA Section 702, which enables the federal government to spy on American citizens without even getting a warrant. And so it's little things like that. So my other main concern in general is making sure that we're adhering to the Constitution, but making sure that our rights are not being trampled on and that we truly do have the utmost liberty and freedom in this country.
So rather than passing things, maybe you're the guy that would go, we're not doing this, because we do need those people as well, that it looks like, well, I don't know what they're really doing, but actually you're concentrating on, no, we're going to, not allow the government to continue expanding.
Right, exactly. I think a lot of times you may see that it's not about what bills you pass, but it's about the bills that you stop from passing. And that's one thing that I've seen a lot, because I like Alabama. I love Alabama. I was born and raised here, and I want Alabama to stay Alabama. And the only way I perceive that can happen is whenever we stop the federal government from overreaching on the states and allow Alabama to best choose how we proceed moving forward.
Case, we have about 30 seconds left. Quickly tell everyone how they can find out more about you and your campaign.
Absolutely. They can find me on all social media at Case Dixon, or they can visit my website at dixonforuscongress.com. That's DIXONFORUScongress.com. And then before we close, like I said, I want to speak directly to Congressman Palmer. You owe it to voters to a debate, and you can't hide for too long. And so I'm right here whenever you're ready.
Thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Maybe practice with your left hook. Keep walking though. You got this. I'm proud of your hard work. I see you everywhere, and I'm glad you're okay. So thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for having me on. Y'all take care.
Thanks. You too.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Broke his hand. Yeah. I mean, I remember knocking doors and seeing some dogs. But the thing that happened was my kids got the door slammed in their face, but no dog.
I've never actually really thought of that. That's like a whole variable that you don't really account for until that happens. And I bet he doesn't maybe go unarmed again.
Mm.
Because seriously, what if he wouldn't have landed that punch?
Oh my gosh.
And the owners weren't there.
The owners owe him their vote.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay,
After all that.
There we go. Maybe it was
Also,
worth it.
I guess the dog's a Palmer supporter. I don't know.
He did not like what he saw coming. Y'all will be back with the 3 on the right side.
JP here with Rightside. I need to remind you that Inspire Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. We know this audience, and you're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles and being good stewards of your resources. What if the companies you're invested in don't reflect your values at all? That's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors. Inspire Advisors, they are experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. They can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspire Advisors, you got to go check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Right Side Radio.
Conservative, liberty, freedom first, that's the name of it, right? I mean, issues. So I think there's going to continue. I think that's needed because right now, liberals, Democrats are well organized, they're well funded, and they come in and sometimes attack on all kind of different fronts. Whether it's property rights, I just wrote an op-ed on that. Whether it's going after supporting traditional teachers unions against having a mechanism for that. Whether it's tort reform, you just go down the list, right? But I think it's important to have a coalition of conservative lawmakers, conservative business groups, and let's say, hey, what is our agenda? And so it's two-part: one, to push back against the liberal woke agenda, but then also to push for things we want to get done. So excited to help push for that. That's what I do. And think that's one of the things I'm pretty good at is articulating a message for things we want to get done. And if you look at kind of my track record, we've been pretty successful at the issues that we want to get passed, to getting them passed. I can't think of many that we didn't get done. So
when people look back at your time as lieutenant governor, how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah, I mean, I hope first that I treated people with respect, that we had character, that we made a difference from a conservative standpoint, that the state was in a lot better shape than when we started, and then that we weren't afraid to take on the establishment. We weren't afraid to take on big issues, and that I don't know. I mean, I guess that would be some of the things, but because I really boils down to this, right? I think you got one life to make a difference. You better make a difference while you're here. I've said that over and over the entire time, but I really believe that, right? It's like, why are we here, right? Why did God put me in this position? Well, I hope I made a difference to improve our state in all the different areas. And, and look, I mean, we've helped, it doesn't matter if Republican, Democrat, Independent, we've tried to help everybody in our state. But on the issues, I feel like our state is moved more conservative. I feel like people are moving here because we're a conservative state and they're fleeing liberal states. And, I'm proud of what we, I haven't got everything accomplished we've wanted. And certainly, I mentioned earlier some of the stuff I feel like we still need to cut, but that's really more an executive standpoint. I mean, I don't have any ability to do that, but that's kind of some of the things I'm proud of. But it's been an honor to serve and been a lot of fun.
Well, thank you for joining us. Enjoy your retirement too. I have a feeling you're not really going away. You're going to still be out there pushing for all the things that you started here. But thank you for being with us today. We're going to take a quick break and we will be back with Representative Danny Garrett on the other side. You're listening to The Right Side.
basing the funding on student needs from the RAISE Act is really, really important, because in Alabama, what we've always done is take the total dollars we have and divide that by the heads and say this is what everybody gets. But you have some systems that have a lot of needs, special needs. They have ELL needs. They have poverty. They have gifted programs, and we weren't funding those specifically. We're now beginning to do that.
Quick question. You talked about moving the needle, and we all were very excited to see, for example, with reading, we're growing. And I noticed in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, we're employing phonics again.
Right.
What are we doing with math? Are we veering away from Common Core math, or are we sticking with that? Like, tell me more about that.
Well, we have the Numeracy Act. You mentioned I'm a guru on education. We have an education policy and education budgets.
Okay.
I'm not on policy, so I
Okay.
don't know all the details of the policy. But I will say that we're going back to maybe just the type of math that makes sense.
Okay.
Put it that way.
I'm for that.
And critical thinking is part of this. I mean, it's not just the way I did it.
Allison, she's back. Kay Ivy and the gas sticker.
Hey, Meemaw, how you doing?
Hey, darling.
I wish we could
I
show this
to everybody.
Hold on, I'm gonna get up and I can't see what it looks like. Y'all, these stickers were put together by a friend of ours several years ago, and they just showed up in Amy Beth's house. They're kind of iconic. If you remember, this high stepper showed up on gas pumps across the state. So let me show you.
Because they used to be on a camera we used to use, and I found them yesterday, and I said, Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. We
Back it up a
have
hair.
our gas
Back it up a hair.
tax sticker. And if y'all remember, maybe you saw some of these gas stickers on some of the gas tanks around town. And maybe North Alabama, maybe South Alabama. Lord have mercy. I don't know. But when I found those yesterday, I said, oh, the high stepper is coming back to our camera. And she is. So we now see Mrs. Gas Tax herself, and she is on that sticker. So if you saw it, you just need to know that there is a gas tax bandit, and we cannot reveal her name to you. But she is a legend. Not just allegedly a legend. A legend. And she's back on our camera. And everything feels right in this world.
All right.
Got it. It's okay. It's okay.
Not enough room. The sticker, they were going to make a sticker with all the legislators that voted for the gas tax as well, but it would have been too big.
To our secret friend. We never really talked about it before. Okay, everybody. It's time for the three. Who's first?
Well,
JP?
I'm still mulling. I'm trying to pick one.
Okay,
so y'all
I'll go.
ahead.
Okay.
Mine is a poem.
A poem.
A poem.
You're reading a poem.
I am.
Please read it in your best poetry voice. This needs to be an English teacher, very serious.
An
Don't
English teacher.
smile. Just like this.
This is an ode. An ode to.
You can't smile.
An ode to the Republican Party.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Best professor voice you got.
I'm channeling Jack Handy.
Okay.
Do you know Jack Handy?
Oh,
Deep
bless his heart.
Thoughts?
Okay.
So
I'm unfortunately do not.
It's okay. We still love you.
this is gonna be so good. Sometimes I wonder why I do this work. I wonder why I work so hard to elect Republican majorities into office. And when we are in power, our very elected officials don't wield or harness that power. I wonder why I lose sleep, miss family vacations, and put my personal life on hold. So wealthy senators can go on paid vacations and skip the TSA lines after not even achieving the very promises they campaigned on. Sometimes I wonder if they truly care about us and if they actually want to represent the will of the very people that elected them into positions of authority. I will tell you this. If the Senate ultimately does not pass the Save America Act, I will use all of the energy, hustle, and organizing efforts that we use to elect these senators into office as tools to peacefully and respectfully defeat them in their upcoming elections. Close scene.
Wait.
How about that?
That was great.
Here's the question.
Mm.
Who wrote that?
Scott Pressler.
How the heck did you know?
She probably saw it already.
When you were pulling it up and you said that, my eyeballs literally.
Oh, she cheated.
No, for a second, I thought I saw, because we follow the same thing. Excellent, Scott Pressler. Let's get him on the show.
That would be great.
You're saying you didn't write that?
I did not write that poetry.
Mm.
No, sir, I did not.
Mm.
I tried to emphasize it well. I don't even know if the point got across, but
excellent.
Question. I mean, is this the beginning of the end? Like, if this doesn't get passed, to me, this is a pivotal moment. And I feel like so many Republicans are disenfranchised with the party. Now you've got the war and it's split on that. You've got, so many debates. I mean, you've got Fox News coming out and saying, higher gas prices and being okay with it is now patriotic because that's what we do. We suffer through the war for the good. What?
Yeah.
And so that's the sentiment of someone who has poured their life into the Republican Party, getting conservatives elected, and that's where he is. And I feel like a lot of us are there.
Mm.
I don't know if it's in us to quit, but definitely don't think we're winning the midterms.
No, so I got a column coming out tomorrow in Yellowhammer. I'm talking about this, and it's funny, we were talking about Gen Z earlier. The amount that I believe Gen Z shifted 21 points to the right in the 2024 election. And there's a reason for that. It's because we knew the threat at hand and we understood how important that election was and how evil was bubbling up and how much we had to deport the illegals here, how much we needed to fix the housing crisis. No more foreign wars that don't, further our interests. Like that, those were cornerstone policy issues. And not only just with Gen Z, but in terms of everybody that voted for Trump and the GOP. And right now, it looks like we're just kind of getting the GOP of old. Like, I feel like they're not getting it. It's like, it's not clicking in their head. You're not understanding what we want from you, right? It's like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. We'll just start another war with Iran anyways. Oh, I know we said mass deportations, but we don't want to put the farm, the farm workers or put them in a bad spot, or the hotel companies that lose their labor. I know we said we fixed the housing crisis, but we really want to keep those housing prices. It's like, you guys aren't getting it, are you? And then the Save America Act is another great example of, we know we said we would do it, but those dang Democrats, it's like, what are we going to do? It's almost like it's not clicking in the head. So I think the response is going to be, they're not going to show up and vote, because if you're not doing what you said you would do, and it's just the same old, why should we vote for you again?
It's like they get elected, they go up, in those movies where it's in the ocean, and after they come out of the ocean, they've got to depressurize, and sometimes they have to rinse them off. It's like they depressurize them from the common sense they arrived with, and then shower them off with obedience only to the party leadership and the lobbyist. And so whoever they were is gone, and they're never coming back, because time after time after time, when we ask, they say, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea. It's so hard to get anything done. We can't get everybody on board. They are excuse factories, and they aren't getting it. And I don't know why this happens repeatedly, except power and money. And so now what has to happen is people like us, Rightside Nation, has to say, we need a long-term plan. We're going to have to chop away at this for years. And the way that we do that is expose their failures in poetry and door knocking, and continually challenging them to let them know you still represent us. But that call to have power, infinite power, indefinitely, that call to have money at your beck and call because they'll give it to you, that moment that they are depressurized and filled up with whatever they want is hard to overcome, but we have to. It's like you said, it's not in us to quit. It looks bleak right now, but we can't quit. We just can't.
Exit question before we move on. JP said they're not getting it. My question for both of you, one or the other. Are they not getting it, or were they lying to us?
I think they've talked. Can it be a both and?
Yeah.
I think they started out one way and then they get there. They mean it earnestly. And then they get there and they're like,
But then you didn't really mean it. You know,
so you don't really mean it. You think you mean it until you're challenged.
Yeah.
So maybe, it gets back to they were lying the whole time.
I think Trump, people say he changes his mind based off the last person he's talked to.
I can see that.
Which is can be a positive in certain areas, but not with not with this. I think maybe during the campaign season, he was hearing from people. It's like, I think people were telling him what he needed to say to win. And he said at the moment, oh, well, now you won. And all of these special interests and all of these lobbyists and all of these people that want war in Iran come and tell you what you want to hear. And you get in that echo chamber and not what you were when you were on the campaign trail and hearing from your voters. And that's your circle. You're doing what you're hearing around you. I think maybe JD Vance and others in the administration are upset with certain things like the Iranian war and others. We don't hear from them to know that, but I think the Republicans in Congress, I genuinely don't think they get it. I think they're in their echo chamber of DC. Yeah. They've been in politics for years. Guys, I know how it works. You know, you're asking for too much. You know, I think they're tired of hearing from people, and I think they know better. And I've been there, done that. I know how it works. This is just not how it's done. And I don't think they get it in terms of and the only way to get them to get it is if they have consequences when they don't do what they say they're going to do. Yeah. You have to lose. You have to be embarrassed, because until that happens and there's actual repercussions for you not doing what your voters want you to do, you have to lose. I'm sorry. And this is why when people say you're going to hand it over to the liberals and the Democrats, it's like, okay, well, what's happening right now? You know, not much, so I don't know. It's the only way for them to get it, I think, is face it.
Yeah. The problem is the machine is fierce. The machine is strong. The machine has tons of money, and they like it when their peons, minions aren't getting it, and they will do everything to keep them there.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, on that cheery note,
that was fun.
How about another cheery note?
I got a story, an interesting one. I don't know if y'all saw, there's another Senate poll that came out yesterday.
Yes.
This was from Club for Growth and Alabama Freedom Fund. It's a U.S. Senate poll. It's not too much different than the last poll. Currently, Barry Moore, and this was from March 16th to 19th, I believe was the dates. Barry Moore's in the lead at 31%. Steve Marshall is at 26%. Jared Hudson is at 13%. And all the other candidates polled to a combined 9%. So
undecided. I can't do that math. How much is undecided?
Undecided was 21%.
So we're closing in the gap.
Yeah, but here's the interesting part of the poll. Let's pull it up. Only 31% were aware of Trump's endorsement of Barry Moore in the race.
And they've spent the crypto fair shake. I think they've spent like $4.5 million on advertising for Barry Moore, and for 31%. But he has a sizable lead. He's clearly leading. That PAC is the Club for Growth PAC. And Club for Growth is supporting Barry Moore as well.
Right. So Alabama Freedom Fund also recently just put up an ad highlighting President Trump's endorsement of Barry Moore. And then also the Steve Marshall ad
Yeah.
of Steve Marshall's past as an Obama Democrat slams his soft on crime record. First
Do
of
you
all,
have that? Can you
I can
play
find it. It is brutal.
I think it's the most graphic is what I would use. The most graphic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so the Alabama Freedom Fund did this poll alongside Club for Growth, and they're both, pro Berry and having.
Well, they're essentially the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's not that much different than the last poll we saw. I can't remember when that the poll before that was, when it was done.
The beginning of March.
Yeah. So it's
the
pretty
first
much
week.
the same.
What's the margin of error? Do you have that?
It said about 4,
3.
and I think they're I don't have it up in front of me right now, but I believe they said their confidence percentage in this was 95%. So
yeah, like where they, how many people did they poll? There's so many variables that go into a poll. You have to kind of dig into it. Like
it was
where
over 1,000
Okay.
of likely voters. So by the way, I got this.
It's hard to watch,
I got the
actually.
Steve Marshall ad.
Have you seen this?
No.
Okay, I might
I
just
haven't.
watch your face.
Okay.
No pressure.
Because
Hold on, I gotta pull it up real quick. But it is convicting though. A lot of it, when I was sitting there watching it, I mean, I knew the stuff that people said about Steve Marshall being a Democrat, but here we go.
Okay.
Marshall spent most of his life as a registered Democrat, ran for office as an Obama Democrat, gave thousands to the Democrat Party to defeat Republicans, and elect criminal coddling liberals like himself. The soft-on-crime prosecutor who also let a cop killer remain eligible for parole, who cut a sweetheart deal with an illegal, who killed an American, refusing to charge him with murder, who let Gary Dean Helms Jr. plead down to a lesser charge after Helms was charged with raping his own mother. We've seen what happens when criminal coddling Democrats run the country. Cop killers get off easy, illegals kill Americans, twisted rapists brutalize with impunity. So after Steve Marshall spent most of his life as a soft-on-crime Democrat, why would we ever make him senator? Alabama Freedom Fund is responsible for the content of this ad.
Dang.
Well.
Yeah, the gift from Rocky, but throw the damn towel. Yeah. That was brutal.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Hey, on the cinematography, very well done commercial, but brutal.
But the title of that ad is called Mother, and the mother rape scene in that, that's
no
a little much. But
it was a
you're
little
right.
much.
That's a lot.
It's a little.
I blocked it out. I already blocked that part out.
How do you think Alabamians will respond to this? Because I remember the Mo Brooks, Mike Durant, Katie Britt, everybody was so sick of the negativity. Does this look, and everybody says, oh, well, the PAC, they can't communicate with the campaign, blah, blah. Like they technically cannot control it, but they know this is coming. Does this reflect poorly on Barry Moore? Or is this just straight up like, I was a Steve supporter. He's done some great things for Title IX, but holy cow, I can't support that.
I think the latter.
Yeah.
I really do. Because I didn't know some of those stuff that was mentioned in the ad. I knew everybody talked about Steve Marshall being an Obama Democrat or whatever. But I think initially Steve Marshall's name ID had him up in the lead. And then I think as the Trump endorsement came in, we kind of saw him slowly go down. I think the timing of this ad may be the
I agree.
death nail.
I agree.
That's
It's bad. It's real bad.
I have a picture. Somebody sent me a picture of it's Steve Marshall as a Clinton delegate at their Democrat convention. And he's in the crowd as a Clinton Democrat. And then now when Steve came on our podcast, we asked him about it.
Yeah.
I mean, point blank asked why he switched parties. And he said it was the whole abortion issue that he just finally was like, I can't be a part of that anymore. I mean, he answered it straight up. So again, Donald Trump used to vote Democrat. So I don't know if that is the nail in the coffin, but people tend to not really do their research and dig in. And that is a powerful ad, and it's going to hurt him.
It is.
But
JP,
sad.
I am pivoting. Let's play the craft thing I sent you.
Oh.
So I found that this is about
After
food.
mother rape, you want to do something light?
Yeah. I do. So because we're going to run out of time. This is interesting. So, and in fact, our friend Al reminds me about health segments. This one is interesting because it's about food we used to eat compared to what we have now. But watch this clip that I found on X about the old Kraft versus, well, you'll see.
What has happened to Kraft macaroni and cheese? Here's a box from the 1950s.
Go Vols.
As you can see, there were only 6 ingredients. Requested that you add bacon drippings and or margarine and or butter. Fast forward to the 80s. See the addition of buttermilk powder. This package is from the mid-90s. There's actually more cheese in the mid-90s, and we still have buttermilk powder, which means that the mid-90s recipe was epic.
It's prehistoric Oni. In a world gone dino-roni. Now it's total bear bop Oni. Take the disco dance at Tony. It's that cheesy macaroni.
And now we advance into the year 2000 with this Pokemon special edition.
Isn't that amazing?
10 years later, and we advance into an actual artifact. This is one of my ancient artifacts from 2010, and you can see that there is no more buttermilk powder and there's hardly any cheese. It's what we have present day, has 0 buttermilk powder, there's less than 2% cheese, and they've also added tapioca starch because that's an extra thickener that's going to compensate for the lack of cheese. So I took a deep dive into Canadian Kraft dinner. It's still the same over there. Check back for part
time. So she goes on. Apparently, she's going to have a part 2. But I've noticed in recent weeks that RFK Jr. has been talking more and more about food and kids and what we're eating in America. And what I also came across is this, that Japan has banned the import of the following American foods because they contain the carcinogenic substance BHT.
Oh.
Butylated hydroxytoluene. Okay, here's what Japanese can't eat. Frosted Flakes, Rice Krispies, Wheat Thins, Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's my childhood.
Yeah.
Throw in some Captain Crunch and Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, right. And then they go and they take on Doritos in another video. And I'm like, that's enough. I've had enough. So when I see people losing their minds about criticizing RFK Jr. over food and other issues like vaccines, I just want to say, have you read the side of your box? Do you know what you're eating? Do you know what we used to eat? Like we had Steakums. JP, did you eat
What's
Steakums?
Steakums?
Oh, you didn't know about Steakums?
No.
What is that?
Horrible.
Is that like a Hot Pocket?
It's like a Hot Pocket, but your mom would zap the sort of steak meat and it would be like a sub sandwich with cheese from the freezer. That was the first time I remember getting some semi-processed food, but it's not like what we have today.
Bagel bites. You remember bagel bites?
Oh, don't get me going on the bagel
What about
By the way, here's the Steakum.
Oh, that looks like sliced spam.
It does say all beefed, but it says chopped, shaped. That's concerning.
That's spam. You had to spam them.
Mm-hmm. Steakums. You guys had bagel bites. We also had the little taquitos. Remember those?
Yes. And
you like the taquitos?
Pizza bites.
Pizza bites. What else did you? Corn dogs.
Is that what they're called?
Y'all, it's my childhood, dude.
What?
So good.
So this is the food we used to eat. We didn't really pay attention to it because we didn't think they were trying to kill us. And now it turns out that RFK Jr. is onto something, and what we used to eat versus what we eat now, completely different. And now Japan's like, we don't want your food. We don't want your cereals. Also, I love Wheat Thins.
Yeah, and Ritz crackers are going to kill us all as well. You should not eat those.
Oh, I love Ritz crackers. Did you eat crackers when you were little?
I wasn't a big cracker eater.
What did you eat instead? Did you eat Doritos?
Yeah.
Ruffles.
Doritos. I would eat Ruffles, but
sour cream and
those are
onion,
good.
sour cream cheddar. That was a Ruffle.
That's a good one too.
Doritos? Did you eat Doritos?
Yes, big time.
Did you eat Doritos?
Yeah, Cool Ranch Doritos.
I was big Cool Ranch as a kid. Now I'm a nacho cheese red Dorito guy.
Yeah. It's all going to kill us. if they don't change the ingredients. And apparently some companies are, which is great. Some companies are still hanging on to their terrible ingredients that are cancer causing. And I enjoy following RFK Jr. because he has a whole massive list of all the things that are in the foods he's trying to get to, like our cereal. But it's just interesting that when I came across that, I was like, yeah, I used to eat the Kraft mac and cheese that had like milk powder
Yep.
and like actual macaroni. Now I have no idea what it is.
It's mac and cheese is not, it's a little hard to flavor, right? But I mean,
you can make it.
You can make it pretty easy. Some butter, some milk, some cheddar cheese, some salt, maybe a little bit garlic if you're feeling crazy. But
not
that's
that
it.
hard.
That's like 4 ingredients. And then buy the old school pasta that's not with glyphosate, Italian pasta. You're good.
Takes a little longer to read the labels, but y'all read the labels on your food. Also, if they come after the pudding cups, I will be a little upset. Those were delicious. Did you eat those?
Have you ever read a pudding cup?
I'm kidding.
Oh.
Yes, I used to get them for my kids, and I need to owe them 1,000 apologies because I didn't know.
God, the Hot Pockets was a big one
Hot
for me
Pockets.
You put it in that aluminum
Yeah.
little thing, that sleeve, and just fry all the aluminum into your pocket of hots.
too. Yeah, and I would
and then eat it.
I would never wait. I swear the roof of my mouth is like this undestroyable now. I would come home from school and put it in, and every time I try to eat too fast, and it's all immediately the but it was so good.
See?
Miss it.
Food.
And it's all killing you.
You're welcome.
All those ramen noodles.
Oh, I still have ramen noodles in the house.
This is great. Let's put really hot water in styrofoam cups. Heat it up
with a lot of salt
and slurp it down with that MSG.
Delicious.
You know what I would do? You mentioned something like this. I can't remember what, and it reminded me of what I would do in college. I would do the ramen, and then I'd get grilled chicken from the freezer, slice it up, and then whenever the ramen was done, I would like pick the noodles up and put the chicken in the noodles and just let it sit there for about a minute or two, and chicken heats up, and you got the chicken in the noodles. You just stir. Yeah,
That's actually pretty smart.
Sounds delicious, actually. Molly makes a gourmet ramen when she comes home. And I'm like, ooh, you probably shouldn't eat this anymore.
And then you go to like an actual ramen place and eat it, and you're like, this doesn't. Do you have any of the microwavable ramen?
It's very bland.
Do you have any of the-
25-cent pack.
Yeah, I got some in my
Please?
car. If you'd like, I can give y'all some.
Some chicken bouillon powder would be great. All right. So, JP, do we have time today to do Would You Rather or Never Have I Ever?
Yeah, we're gonna do
Because
some.
we've missed out on that the last couple days.
I know, right? Okay. Here's one. Would you rather have the ability to see minutes into the future or years into the future? Minutes.
Minutes.
Well, I mean, what can you do? Listen to me. I just need to answer. But like, what would minutes into the future help you do?
Like, I'm about to get in my car. Am I gonna get in a car wreck? Should I wait a couple minutes? All right, yeah, whatever.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm about to have this really important meeting. Can I see how it's gonna go beforehand so I know?
Okay. I'm minutes.
Okay, that's
Convincing.
good. That's good.
Okay, some of these we've asked already. Let's would you rather spend a week in the forest or a night in a real haunted house?
Forest.
I mean, the forest is kind of haunted in my head too. I'll go house.
I'm gonna go house because you just get through it one night.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping either way.
What
Right?
if the haunted house is haunted and it is able to kill you?
Okay, well I don't think ghosts can kill you.
You don't think they can? Is that
They-
the rule?
Don't they move stuff?
Yeah, that's part of the thing. Like the ghosts, they have as much power as you give them.
It's
Okay,
talking like an authority.
because
All
when
right.
you're like, if a ghost comes and does some spooky stuff and you freak out, then it's got you. But when it does some stuff and you're just like, brother, is that the best you got? And then he's just like, oh, okay. Well.
Fine, I'll change. If
I'll
it's I'll go to the haunted house, but I'll
Fine.
go with y'all.
But they're not ghosts. They're just demons,
That-
right?
yeah, well, they are demons.
And so you just
That's why it scares me. These are
In
demons.
the name of Jesus.
True.
Okay, we're gonna find a good
Oh.
one to end on.
Wait, I said in the name of Jesus and did that, and the camera went out. And your camera just went out the second time I did it.
They're not out on my end. They're out on y'all's end.
This is like
This is weird.
this. Let me try it again. In the name of Jesus.
Okay.
It didn't work.
What is it? Just black on your end?
Yeah.
Well, it did,
Okay,
yeah.
well,
it-
interesting.
mhm.
I don't
And
know why that
fuzzy
is.
now.
We're good on my end.
It's a demon. They're messing with us.
We should probably go now.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
All right. That was weird. We will see y'all tomorrow with lots of great news. Good news on a fun Friday. See you tomorrow.